tried to record this one the other day and I didn't really like how it turned out, so I'm going to try this again. The governor race in Tennessee is over, and Blackburn has it. And everything I'm saying here is my opinion. Let's just put that out there. It's not accusations. In my opinion, it looks like it was handed to her. And that happens a lot. You know, you get to look at these elections, and the people won't debate, and they're not really talking to people. And it kind of gives the game away. They don't have to. They've already got it. They've gotten a little phone call. We're putting you there. Whatever the election results are, they're yours. Again, that's my opinion. And I was trying to tell people about the whole sheepdog thing. It's why it's better to keep an open mind. I mean, you can believe what you want to believe, but you really need to sort of analytically look at both parties. If you do, you'll see what the party that you usually vote for, if you do vote for either one of them, God help you if you do. But you can see what's happening to you because you can see what's happening to them. Because you're just completely blind. Well, everything over there is just garbage and evil and whatever, and I'm just not even going to look at it. I'm not going to look because I disagree with them, so I'm not going to even look at it. Because of that, you're missing what's happening to you because you're so head up. If it's like, we got to stop the evil. This evil over here is going to win, so whatever we do, we just got to vote for these people. And that's happened in Tennessee. It's what I believe, personally, in my opinion, Fritz was. They usually do that. They'll have an election, and if people are sort of mediocre, middling, then they don't have to do this. But when people start getting more revolutionary, they start taking more issues with the things that's going on with the country and worldwide, they have to institute a sheepdog. And what that person will do is, all the people are getting ready to just refuse to vote. There's a possibility that they're not going to support these people because they do need the support. They do need sort of a allowance. That's why I encourage people to vote. Even saying that, I don't personally think that you're getting the honest results from the elections. You're showing your disapproval. You're saying no. And it means something to you, and it means something, they can see it. Even if they don't honor it, they see, I do not consent. And that's what that is. Not voting, to me, it sends a message of, you win, I give up. So, what they were afraid of is that people were not consenting. And that leads to a possible revolution. We've already had so many sheepdogs, a herd of sheepdogs on the Democrat side. Bernie Sanders, the squad, all these people. And yes, Mamdani and the other guy just got elected, Arabic guy. I can't think of his name. I hate to say it like that, but I don't remember his name. But they're sheepdogs, for sure. In the grand scheme of things, and the reason why you can tell is because if they really believed anything that they were pushing, they couldn't approve of their other Democrats. They couldn't. They'd have a hard time even running in the party. But to sit there and buddy up to them, no, that's the enemy. That's the enemy. You can't sit there and say, I'm for all these revolutionary ideas and all these things that are different, and buddy up to people who hate people like that. And are for the opposite thing. And again, back to Tennessee, and this is Republicans. You had somebody who had to sort of throw a net on the possible revolution, the dissent. The people who were getting ready to light their torches and wave their pitchforks. Enter Monty Fritz. He's there to say, I hear you, I agree, everything. Meanwhile, he's never said anything about all this stuff before. That's the funny thing. Before, there's several others that say, Another guy that's running some lower, he's a little pasty faced rich boy. He does that rich boy smile at. Anytime you see that, his little pasty, chubby, chipmunk faced, privileged little white boy smile. That's not somebody you want in charge. He doesn't know about anything in life, doesn't care about anything in life. He's soft, he's never seen anything. But now, all of a sudden, the 11th hour, he's trying to act like he's against data centers and all this sort of thing. Fritz never voiced anything about this stuff years ago. All the opposition he could have had about all this stuff, he waited till now. And I'll tell you why. Because he knew he wasn't in it to win. He was here to net people who had that feeling and then ease them back over to Blackburn when she inevitably got the nomination one way or the other. And that's what they're doing. The little foot soldiers are already doing that. They're saying, look, I know, we can't let these commie, Marxist, Muslim, transgender, all these different Democrats take over. They're going to take your guns and take your genitalia and swap it around and put your elbow on your forehead. All this different stuff they're trying to tell you is going to happen. So you got to vote for the person who you were vehemently against. You're completely against this person. They're going to do all this stuff that you were against. That's crazy to me. Surely you can't go along with that. You can't. You've opposed the flock cameras, the data centers, the funded by Israel and funding Israel. And then you're just going to cave and go for it. That's weak. That's very weak. All because you're afraid of a Democrat getting it. And it's really what they're afraid of, and not that I trust any Democrats. At least if they're high up enough to be corrupted. But it's this redistricting thing that they did that ended up getting Ogles tossed out. That's funny. What was happening, the reason they really did it was it was racism for sure. That was involved. But ultimately, they're trying to get rid of that last district because they knew Cohen wasn't going to win again. They needed to get all sweep and have all Zionist, all Israeli funded. And the guy that's running right now in that district where Cohen was, Memphis and all that, he's not funded by Israel. Now, do I 100% trust him? No. I can't even say I 50% trust him. But as of now, he's not funded by Israel outwardly. So they needed to capture that. And this was the method to do that. They knew people were starting to dissent. I think Burchett is starting to feel a little bit of heat. But the guy running against Pearson in that district, he is not going to win. There was another one. This woman talked like she was intoxicated the whole time. I might have political offices confused. But I know they had one. Yeah, maybe that was something different. Maybe that was, I'm getting my representatives and senators and everything confused. But I know I got one that she talks like she's intoxicated all the time. And she just salivates and loves Trump. This worship of Trump is just sick. I've never seen anything like that before. I'd love to tell you that the Democrats were just as bad with the Democrat high-ups. They're not. They're bad, for sure. I've never seen anything like this before. Like he is a god. You couldn't make a cartoon and exaggerate it. I'm surprised they're not just kind of bowing to him and just lowering their face to the floor and kissing his shoes. His lifted shoes, because he's really only 5'9". But anyway, that's why he looks so funny. Because he's got a 5'9" man's arms. But he's bolstered up to 6'2". Maybe. 6 feet, 6'2", something like that. He's not 6'3" with those shoes on. That's beside the point. Beware of the sheepdogs. There's certain things that they can say that would be telling to let you know that they're not a sheepdog. No matter how revolutionary they seem on other things, here's what they have to say. And this is the only thing we can accept from either party or whatever they're running for, independent, whatever. No money to or from Israel ever. Make it illegal. And if there's other countries doing it, fine, do it with them also. I don't care. Get rid of dual citizenship. If you serve, considering what Israel has done, if you serve in their armed forces, your citizenship in America is gone. It's toast. Get out. You're going to serve Israel? Get out. Get out or we'll throw you out. You're certainly not going to hold an office. But to me, that's war criminals. If you have, we've had enough people that get charged with sex offenses run off and hide in Israel because Israel doesn't mind it. That's what they're into. I'm sorry, but you can look that up. It is what it is. Look at Alan Dershowitz. Look what else he's into. Big proponent of Israel. Look at that Rabbi Smoley or whatever. Looks like a friggin' goat. He's into some pretty weird stuff. So that's one thing. Israel is cut off permanently. Permanently. And it's going to be militantly cut off. That's one thing. Another thing is the Flock cameras and whatever brand. I know they got some other competitors. Flock is the brand. That mass surveillance, gone. If they want to have a few around town, whatever. I don't care about that. But the amount that they have and putting them out in the country roads and highways and out in front of people's houses, out in front of gun ranges, no, we're not doing that. You can either cut way down on them or you can get rid of all of them. Zero, gone. Data centers, this many. Zero, none. None. Not one. Zero. That's three things you got to get going right there. The wars overseas, over immediately. Not a single U.S. soldier gets sent. All of them overseas comes back immediately. Immediately. No, a year down the road, 6 months down the road, no. Today, or at least this week, they're coming back. Every one of them, it's over. No funding other countries. They don't get weapons, they don't get anything. You want to do international trade, that's one thing, but no weapons. And no funding for wars. Not complicated. I could even think of a few more, but I'll put that on my own personal ideas because I am considering at some point entering politics. At least I can create some kind of movement. I'm certainly not going to be a sheepdog. I'm going to be quite the opposite. But watch out for it. I mean, if you were supporting Fritz, you got taken. But you're not the only one. There's no reason to be ashamed about this. People who follow Bernie Sanders got taken. The squad, all those people. The fact that they're called the squad, how'd that happen? There's a lot of them doing that. Burchett, that's another one. He's about the worst little two-faced piper. I can't stand him because of how much of a fake he is. I'm so sick of his little dadgummit thing that he's doing. Man, you ain't seen a hard day's work. Stop playing country. See, outside of Tennessee, people don't know any better. If you put on that, yeah, buddy, accent, people think you're from the country and they think you've been doing all this different stuff. No. They're up in the middle of town with HOAs and everything else with his little khaki shorts on, his little socks, his little polo shirts, going golfing, and his brand new vehicle because he can't have an old one. He doesn't know how to manage it. He doesn't know anything about them. Probably has somebody else mow his yard. Has somebody else do his gardening for him. He's a fake. And there's a lot of them like that. But see, they know outside of Tennessee, you can't tell the difference. People from, I don't know, Nebraska might not know the difference. They hear that accent and they think they're, the Darlings from Andy Griffith's show. No. Suburbanite. They're just as uptown as any, Yankee nerd, like Fred Willard or something like that. But that's just a little piece on sheepdogs, a little bit more organized than the other one, at least. But watch out. Basically, what it's going to take is not voting for either party. But as I pitched it before, considering they're the ones making all the promises, if the Democrats had full reign for like 12 years, and it might not take that long, full reign, full power for 12 years, they got the majority in everything, it'll kill both parties, which is good, because neither party is running on, the parties are not still going because people believe in them. They're still going because people are terrified of the opposition. They've been fear-mongered about the opposition. They're there because people are less afraid of them than they are of the other ones. That's it. So if you knock out one of them, the other one goes, because the boogeyman is dead. So what would happen in about 12 years of Democrats being in full control? Not a single promise would they pass. Not one. They might attempt to do some awful things, but I doubt they'll even do that. People are afraid of them taking guns away. I don't think that'll ever happen. And it's not because they don't want to take them away. It's because with all the awful things that the U.S. government has done all over the world, the fact that if you set foot on this continent, in this country, you don't know who's armed and what they can do and what they're prone to do, it's kind of the best defense for an invasion. So I don't really think that they're going to do that. What will happen is all the promises, they will not fulfill a single promise. Not one. Not a single one. And all the losing will cause people to lose faith in the Republican Party. But all you got to do is take out one of them and the other one goes too. Because as I said, the main amount of voting that either party gets is not support, it's fear. So again, if the other party's gone, there's nothing to be afraid of. You'd vote for a third party. Or as Ron Paul says, a second party. Which he has a good point. But you wouldn't be voting for Democrats and Republicans. Let's just put it that way. So something to think about. Something to strive for. I've said it a few times. I'll say it again. As Kit Cabello from Hardlands Media says, keep your head on a swivel. Watch out for sheepdogs.